Doctor is out! Out of his freaking mind, maybe. What the? Morgan! What happened?
Went to get your hand.
You didn't have to do that.
Had to pay you back for all the trouble. Found Jacques. He told me.
What?
He told me.
What? What did the monkey tell you? Singe. This must have been broken in the fight between Morgan and Singe. I hope the Vole escaped. Auto trepanation helmet. Ow! Whoa! Help? It's broken. Darn, no more bananas. Curse you, banana god! Did Singe murder you too? Did Singe murder you too? It looks like Singe is using my hand to make something called the Jus de Vie. Did Singe murder you too? It's locked. Oh no! This is where the Marquis keeps all the severed limbs of the pirates he's operated on. Hey, you never know when a sack of severed legs is gonna come in handy. Or footy, as the case may be. Sorry. It's a sack full of severed legs. Ugh. Nope. Lepidoptera flotzimus accelerus. Like many of its more common cousins, the sharp-toothed flotsam island moth has a penchant for noshing on articles of clothing. Where Flotzimus accelerus differs is in the pain of its bites, which can be quite annoying, and the rapidity of its meals. A swarm of flotsam moths can strip a man down to his undergarments in mere seconds, assuming the notoriously finicky moths approve of his wardrobe, of course. I could try to mix up those chemicals, but I'd probably just end up exploding. And not in the funny way. Ow! What? My thumb! God, that blah. Ow! What the? Uh... Ow! Ah! I'm blind! Phew. Vampiridae Flotzimus sucrosus, the flotsam jungle firefly, are a common sight in Flotsam's jungles, which they never leave. Although possessing no natural enemies, the Flotzimus sucrosus has a notorious sweet tooth, drawing it inexorably to bodies of sugar water. No. That doesn't need to be illuminated. The Vacalian wind control device? What is that creep doing with it now? Lepidoptera Flotzimus accelerus. Where Flotzimus accelerus differs is in the pain of its bites, which can be quite annoying, and the rapidity of its meals. A swarm of flotsam moths can strip a man down to his undergarments in mere seconds, assuming the notoriously finicky moths approve of his wardrobe, of course. That doesn't need to be illuminated. I don't think so. Nah. No. This must have been broken in the fight between Morgan and DeSinge. I hope the Vole escaped. I'm not going back in there. It's gross. That doesn't need to be illuminated. That doesn't need to be illuminated. What the... What happened to Morgan's body? Refreshing. That doesn't need to be illuminated. Vampiridae Flotzimus sucrosus, the flotsam jungle firefly. Although possessing no natural enemies, the Flotzimus sucrosus has a notorious sweet tooth, drawing it inexorably to bodies of sugar water. Nah. Nope. I don't think so. Hi there, Double Peg. What exactly are you doing?
Trying to figure out why poor Miss Pretty Whiskers won't.
She's probably just not getting enough iron in her diet. How's Miss Grungy Whiskers doing?
Her name isn't Grungy Whiskers, you lava licker. It's Miss Pretty Whiskers.
I forgot the tale of the Jungle Beast.
None have seen the Jungle Beast, but 'tis the scariest, foul-smellingest.
Yeah, skip to the end.
The meat disappears from the altar without a trace.
Good story. See ya. What in the name of Bluebeard's hair dye?
Hey, no poaching. I have called dibs.
I think I may be lost. Shouldn't there be a creepy voodoo shack right about there?
There was, until they came to arrest that pox-spreading voodoo lady.
What happened?
First came the flames. Poor Senor Nipperkin went up like St. Elmo's fire. Then she emerged from the conflagration, mumbling ancient curses with every regal step. I never forget the baleful stare she fixed me with as she was led away. A look condemning me to a lifetime of suffering, shame, and regret.
Spooky.
And if that wasn't bad enough, I haven't found one bit of cool voodoo stuff in the wreckage. Come on!
Mob justice can be so unfair. Looks like the light of the shack's embers has attracted a swarm of jungle moths. That probably explains what happened to the voodoo lady's rug. Even when it's burned to the ground, the voodoo lady's shack is still creepy. Whoa! Uh-oh. Looks like these finicky moths won't eat a jacket that's encrusted with bacon grease, fish water, and manatee guts. Lucky me. Even when it's burned to the ground, the voodoo lady's shack is still creepy. Alright, little fellas, check out these high-def duds. Well, that's just great. The lamp's dead. Well, at least Stan's sign is keeping the moths from returning to the jungle. Stan!
Guybrush, old pal!
Can I take another look at your voodoo lady and LeChuck Goo Gaws?
Can't keep your eyes off him, huh?
What's that one?
That's our cursed cutlass of Kaflu, LeChuck doll. Press the button for its special transforming glow.
What's happening?
It's a little bright.
Yeah, we're still working out a few kinks. Hey now, what's this? A fuzzy flying fan club? Ah! Hey, knock it off, you nutty nibblers! That hurts! Sweet, fancy, Moses! Ow! Ow! Ouch! Well, that was one heck of an experience, eh, Threepwood? It's a good thing old Stan always keeps a few spare jackets in the back office, or I'd be defending my clients in the Altogether. Say, that's not a bad idea. Stan S. Stanman, naked attorney at law. You've got nothing to hide, and neither does he. No time to chat, Threepwood. I've got business cards to print.
Sweet. You know, when I dreamed of becoming a mighty pirate, I never imagined that one day I'd be tying eye-popping napkins around the non-existent necks of mystical sponges. I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket.
And X marks the... When I get me hands on that plaid-coated scallywag, I'm gonna rip off his waving arms and beat him to a briny pulp with them. What are you looking at?
The secret to eternal life. Le spectre de Grand César!
Doesn't look like Elaine's in any immediate danger. Hopefully she won't commit any unforgivable atrocities before I finish enlarging my pox-curing sponge. Jungle fireflies, nature's little spotlights. That doesn't need to be illuminated. The fireflies are attracted to the sugar water on the leg. Fascinating. And just a little nauseating. I've already got 3 wet legs in my pants. I'd rather not add another one. Now that I know a little bit more about the Vacalians, it appears that we're nearing the end of the Year of the Fish, and approaching the dawn of the Year of the Slightly Bigger Fish. Nah. I don't think so. That's weird. This whole idol is under one of Crimp Digit's unbreakable glass bottles. Nope. It looks like the old Vacalian wind control device has been set to suck again. But what's that tubing around its fingers all about? Looks like someone's been messing with the Vacalian wind control device. And by someone, I mean the Marquis de Singe. And by the Marquis de Singe, I mean the incredible pain in my fundament. Looks like someone's been messing with the Vacalian wind control. Nope. I wonder who put this idol under glass. Nah. That's weird. Trail didn't go anywhere. That's weird. Trail didn't go anywhere. I don't know about mythical jungle beasts, but I always prefer my ritual sacrifices to be slathered in sugar water. Uh-oh. Whew, that altar reeks. Smells worse than the sofa bed after Elaine's mom has dropped by for a visit. La Esponja Grande is only good for soaking up voodoo, like the pox.
At last, I've lost that she-devil.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Serves him right, though. Still, I'd better finish feeding the sponge before Elaine hurts someone I actually care about. The mighty pirate hunter tracks his prey via his distinctive firefly-attracting spoor. That's the legendary jungle beast of Flotsam Island? What the? It's empty. Here, boy. Ooh, that looks uncomfortable. But at least he's not snapping at me anymore. Don't worry, you freakish little abomination. Dr. Guybrush will make it all better. Gotcha! Phew! That is by far the foulest thing I've ever smelled in all my years of pirating. And that's coming from a guy who's just spent a few days inside a giant manatee. Come on, little sponge. Eat the nice smelly antipasta. That's a good sponge. I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket. I'd pull the bone out of there, but I might lose my other hand. I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket. Hey, WP. Morgan Le Fay's been murdered by the Marquis.
Oh my, that is troubling. She was well on her way to becoming one of me best customers.
Aren't you gonna do something?
Oh, I'm sorry, lad, but I preside over a pirate court, meting out justice exclusively for pirate-on-pirate crimes. This sounds like a case of mad scientist on privateer violence. Totally out of my jurisdiction, you see. I think there may be a court in the lower mandibles that handles such affairs, along with ninja and clown crimes, but they only convene every second Thursday. Ah!
I told you I was innocent.
Well, bully for you!
Barkeep, I'd like...
What'll it be?
How about some more of those volcano shots?
Sorry, one...
Barkeep?
What'll it...
On sec... Fugu Jalokia. Seems pretty harmless. Fugu Jalokia. Seems pretty harmless. That doesn't need to be illuminated. Ah, this must be the screaming narwhal that my ship is named after. Creepy. Now that I've spent some time inside these docile Don Juans of the deep, I feel kind of queasy about seeing their heads mounted on a wall. I don't need to use the facilities right now. Besides, that towel guy was a little creepy. Looks like Elaine and Morgan have made a dog's breakfast of your buffet.
What? That mess? Oh, pshaw, my boy! That's just the typical aftermath of our weekly ladies' night buffet table. Our lady pirates may be easy on the eyes, but heaven help you if you get between them and our bottomless salad bowl.
Yikes. Hey, Krebs.
What do you want?
Bye. Hemlock ought to be hauled into art court for this. Ouch! Once I get La Esponja Grande working, I should probably figure out how to clean all that up. I don't think I've got enough sugar to sweeten the entire ocean.